Sanjay ji, yours was the utilization of ISO containers for the transportation of petroleum products.
अवधेश जी, जब 100 पार्टिसिपेंट हो जाएंगे, I think that is the time when we should start. It's happening quickly. People are joining. So it will take hardly 2 minutes to reach 100.
Yeah.
You are muted, sir. Avdesh ji, you are muted.
Sorry. So as per our yesterday's discussion, I had requested BK Sharma ji to.
That's also happening. People from
Yeah.
HPC. I'm just
Correct.
सबको मैं कर रहा हूँ अंदर.
Correct. Yeah, Yatendra ji ने भी उनके refinery वगैरह में भेज दिया था. And Nanda ji has also sent it across his organization.
ज्वाइन किया.
Good afternoon, everyone. We'll be starting within 2 minutes.
Start now.
Yeah. I think that's okay. I think we are almost touching 194 plus.
Yeah.
So
Correct.
go ahead with it, sir. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. So I take this opportunity on behalf of OHSSAI Foundation to welcome all the dignitaries who are here. So first of all, Hirak Dutta ji, who is advisor to PNGRB and one of the now known fraternity in HSC domain with huge experience that he has on his back. And he is also seen as one of the mentor and one of the guru in the entire fraternity. We have Sanjeev Raina ji, who is also one of the veteran in oil and gas industry. Again, coming from BPCL, he has just recently retired from BPCL as executive director HSC. We have with us Mr. Ankur Desai, who is a director for logistics and distribution at Linde, India, and he looks after entire global operations at his position at Linde. We have Sanjay Karajgikar ji, who is also an ex VP with Total Energies and having almost more than 44 plus years of experience in oil and gas industry. So all of them are all the veterans in HSC domain. We will be having Mr. DK Sharma ji also joining us in some time. He is the executive director at HPCL and also a veteran in oil and gas industry. So this session on road transportation safety or road safety or logistics in oil and gas industry is going to be one of the eye-opening kind of a session where you will get to know about the best practices which are being executed and implemented by Linde. So whatever the outcomes they have derived out of such kind of implementation, we will be hearing from Ankurji as a first presentation. Secondly, we have a panel discussion wherein we will learn from all the dignitaries on how the best practices which they have already executed can be helpful to each one of us when we are delivering to our own organizations. So those best practice learning will be part of this particular panel discussion. The format of the event will be that Sanjeev Raina ji will set up the context. Before that, Hirak Dutta ji will give certain briefing about the road safety. After that, Ankur ji will be giving a presentation on best practices in Linde, and then followed by a presentation, which will be followed by a panel discussion, which will be moderated by Hirak Dutta ji. So welcome to all of you and all the participants who have gathered here. I am sure that when you have joined this particular forum, it is with the intention that you will get some value addition things from this particular event. And I'm sure with the people and dignitaries who are here, there will be a lot of takeaways for each one of us. And we look forward to having similar kind of series in future also, which Sanjeev Renaji will brief about it. And looking forward to have a continued engagement with this particular series. Thank you, and over to you, Hirak Dattaji.
Thank you, Avdesh ji. First of all, my words of welcome. As I see, there are almost 150 delegates who have joined, almost 150 delegates who have joined this important discussion. And as Avdesh ji has just mentioned that this is the first program in the series. We plan to conduct a program on road safety, then process safety, then creating an organizational culture, then live case studies and learning from live case studies in the hazardous industry, oil and gas industry, so on and so forth. So it's a very good initiative taken by OHSSAI, and I must congratulate both Avdesh ji and Sanjay ji for taking this wonderful effort. Our job is to share the knowledge and mutually learn from each other, so that at the end of the day, we can enhance the safety in the entire industry. And as I know, I always say that safety means good business. If you want to have excellent business, you cannot excel in business unless we have excellence, we achieve excellence in safety. So its safety is not only it's a thing which is outside. Safety has taken today a key center stage. So when we talk about business, when you talk about achieving excellence in business, when you talk about profitability, when you talk about sustainability, take any aspect, safety is paramount. And there are two aspects of safety. One is occupational safety, and other is process safety. I'm not saying which is important and which is not. For oil and gas industry and for hazardous continuous process chemical industry, for petrochemical industry, chemical industry, fertilizers, etc., process safety is very important because it requires domain knowledge, it requires analytical skills, it requires understanding of human behavior. So unless we have deep understanding of human behavior as to why do they make mistakes, if you do not know the basic tenets of design, operational nitty-gritties, maintenance, do not understand the human behavior, we cannot achieve excellence in safety. Now, with this brief background, let's talk about the road safety. And if you, as we all know, all of you are from industry, so you are well aware that India's record in terms of road safety is very, very poor. That's really very bad. In fact, we have about 1.7 lakhs of fatalities every year and about 5 lakhs of accidents which take place in our country. Now, this is a very poor record. And mind it, ILO says that it is underreported, grossly underreported. So we have more than 1.7 lakhs of fatalities, which is an area of concern for the entire fraternity, And last January, February, I was in a conference. In fact, I was honored to share the table with Honorable Minister of Surface Transport, Sri Nitin Gadkari. And Nitin Gadkari said that we have been doing a lot of work to improve to enhance the safety in road. For example, we have created good infrastructure in road. Truly, a lot of infrastructure has been created, a lot of roads have been added. So good infrastructure has been developed. He mentioned that we are imposing today quite a bit of penalty for wrong side driving, for talking on mobile phones while driving, not having pollution certificates, etc. So heavy penalties which have been doubled, jumping the red light, so on and so forth. So a lot of actions have been taken in that regard also. He did also mention that we have deployed IIT Roorkee to find out what are the blind spots in the road so that we can reduce the number of accidents. But at the end of the day, he mentioned, and I was very much pleased to listen to his candid saying that from a cabinet minister, that in spite of doing so many things, improving the vast infrastructure, imposing a penalty, deploying IIT Roorkee and others to depict the blind spots, etc., the safety records in road has not improved. And that gives me a pain. That is Nitin Gadkari ji himself was mentioning. So it says that now basic thing which you have understood is to spread an awareness. Each one of us need to be aware as to what should we do, what should be our role as a citizen of the country, what should be our role as an industry operators, industry wallahs, what should we do to ensure that our safety records improve. And as you know, I come from oil and gas sector. In oil and gas sector also, the scenario is not different. We have every year, last 3 years average, if you take, we have about 70 to 90 fatal accidents every year. And about more than about 300 major road accidents in oil and gas transportation alone. So if you take chemicals, petrochemicals, etc., the number of fatalities as well as road accidents is quite a high number. So transporting as well as chemicals and oil is a high risk operation, and therefore ensuring road safety is crucial, as we all agree, is very, very crucial to prevent accidents, to protect lives, and to safeguard the environment. And therefore, we HSE professionals are there, that our job is to prevent accidents, to protect lives, and safeguard the environment. Each of the organizations, oil sector, fertilizers, petrochemical, other industries, and we have honored to have Mr. Ankur Desai, who is the director, logistics of Linde. Our job is basically to ensure that we minimize the road accidents, and therefore key concerns, which include vehicle and driver safety, which is paramount. Unless we have vehicle and driver safety, we cannot achieve this. Similarly, route planning is very, very important. And as you all know, how the drivers, they stay on road for months together. So therefore, they do not visit their family. So therefore, what happens is when you are going to deliver the goods or petroleum products or chemicals, etc., if they get time, they quickly, when they are passing through the roads, and if their village happen to be near sites, if they go to the village, meet their family, and again come by, and therefore drive the vehicle at a high speed. Now you have, after that, we have put governors and various sort of things, ABS, etc., etc. So route planning is very, very important. We have route planning, but the important thing is each company must monitor the route planning. Until unless we do that, it is said that things which get monitored gets done. So we may have various sets of KPIs, but KPIs need to be monitored. When I was the head of NIARA, I was head of Oil Industry Safety Directorate also. I have overseen the safety in the entire oil and gas industry. And as in the private sector, when I was head of NIARA, Safety NIARA, I have also seen the road transportation issues. And that point of time at NIARA, way back in 2017-18, we have said that strict ban on use of mobile during transportation, and that instruction was given to all the officers, marketing officers, that give a ring. If the driver is free, he will talk. Don't talk to the drivers. Kahan pahuncha, kahan tak pahuncha, kitna time hai. Please don't talk to them. So those instructions were passed on by NIARA. We passed on to all our officers, particularly the officers of NIARA, sales officers of NIARA. We also said that night transportation, we have tried to stop from night 11 to 5, because as per sister cycle, there are some times where human beings normally doze off. So vast sort of governor, ABS, etc., we have all put. And there are various agencies in India who monitor this. So, for example, we have motor vehicles, MORTH does it, OISD does it, PNGRB is doing it, and there are various other agencies, CPCB, etc., who are monitoring this. We are yet to achieve the goal of reducing the number of incidents. Now, if a country wants to progress, and which Viksit Bharat, we are all saying Viksit Bharat 2047, now unless we achieve a good records, mind it, in oil and gas industry, the number of accidents have come down. That's a good thing. And the process safety management, which was not there once upon a time, now everybody has started realizing and talking about process safety management. We need to, and I'm sure with our concerted effort, everybody's effort, we will be able to reduce the number of accidents in road safety also. It requires cooperation of each one of you. Each one of us are ambassadors, and we need to talk to people as to how can we make them aware, self-disciplined, so that we can reduce the number of accidents. I would not take any more time. We would now request first Sanjay Raina ji and then Ankur Desai ji to make a brief presentation. Sanjeev Raina ji, as Avdesh Malaiya ji has already mentioned, has a vast experience, and I'm sure his experience will benefit each one of his. And thereafter, it will be Ankur Desai ji, who will make a brief presentation, 15 minutes presentation, and he is the head of logistics of Linde. We are all eager to listen to them. Without much ado, I would request Sanjeev Raina to make the presentation. 15 minutes time. Thank you. Thank you, Raina. What to you? Raina ji, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Raina sir.
Raina ji, over to you. I think he got lost connection over. It's frozen. How? So, Avdesh. नहीं अवधेश तो ठीक है अवधेश जी unmute. Sanjeev Raina is frozen. He is not getting anything.
अच्छा, मैं वापस उनको कॉल करता हूँ.
उनको कॉल करिए. तब तक shall we wait or Ankur Desai to make the presentation?
Yeah.
Ankur Desai ji,
Okay.
जब तक रायना जी आते हैं,
Correct.
you can make your presentation.
Okay, sure. Let me say.
Yeah, your screen is audible, visible.
Oh, yeah. So
Thank
I will take you through the road transport safety journey which Linde has achieved. Over a period of time, I would say, when a period it's roughly around last 10 years or so. So prior that, just a brief introduction about the Linde. Very quickly, if someone is not aware about the Linde. So Linde is basically into the atmospheric gas and process gases. So and the medical gases business. So we have a yeah. Is it okay to?
बोलो आकाश तुम जैसे आपका गाड़ी चल रहा है नहीं उस मैं बॉल से यार गाड़ी स्टार्ट करो yes Avdesh ji
Yeah, are we okay to continue?
yes
Okay. So basically, Linde is into the various gases other than the hydrocarbons. So we are atmospheric gases, process gases, medical gases dealt with that. And most of them are being transported into the cryogenic fashion. So there is a special containerized vessels to it, and on that it will be transportation. Besides that, Linde is also into the high pressure cylinder gas business, whereby the just like LPG, industrial gas cylinders are being supplied to various industries and medical installations, etc. Coming back to the right, just looking at the snap of the demography, Linde has a presence more than 50 sites in India, carrying around 750 plus vehicles, covering around 40 lakhs kilometer per month, and so forth, so on. One of the important thing is that Linde has their own distribution centers, which is distribution training centers, which we will talk more detail as I will go into the process, as well as the maintenance hub. So I'm not spending much time on all these details. Let me, Okay, so let me give you the perspectives. I have one disclaimer to make prior I will move forward. I will be covering a lot of videos and contents which depict the certain persons and individual identity also. So there is a disclaimer, all these videos and images are taken with the consent of the respective persons, and this is only for training purpose. So any representations need to be appropriately being seen. So that's a humble request, because this is not to be targeted to any individual. With that, let me tell you, Indian roads are forgiving, right? We all know. And if I will just show you some of the clips, we called it, roads have a lot of vulnerable road users. So when we are operating our truck tankers, we need to really be careful of the pedestrians, two-wheelers, small vehicles, and of course, nowadays, high-speed cars and the latest vehicle technologies and all. These all are making roads extremely difficult. As Hirakji was saying that okay, we have an excellent road infrastructure, but along with that, the adaptation of that driving habits has to also be changed. Otherwise, we will continue to see this kind of very miserable, accidents. By the way, all these are the clips captured, by the Linde vehicles while they are moving on the roads. And these are the just glimpse of that. We have probably every day some or other similar type of clips are being catered. So what are the challenge? So I will little bit go into the flashback, and I'm talking about a story of 1 decade or so. So let me start around 2016-17. We have a very horrible situations of the rollovers and the fires and gas spillage, leakage, fatalities on the road. And that is where we had a wake-up call in terms of what we really need to do. We had gone for the various program what typical industry take, which is the senior leadership intervention, safety climate surveys, bringing a road transport safety policies. We restructure our organizations for the safety road transport, safety, bring various global international best practices, technologies, all these things. We have also bring a lot of transport contract carrier management activities and policy, but all these are provide us the limited improvement, because there are the two challenges which are the remains persistent. First is that external factors. When we are talking about the safety inside our fence, means inside our plant, it is a very controlled environment, and we can do, or we can expect things to behave the way we want. But roads are not like that. And that is where the road transport safety becomes always a difficult challenge, because external influence is very high. And second is a lack of visibility beyond fence. What is happening on the road? If we don't know that, we don't understand the behavior psychology of driver or other road users or the vehicle, we will not be able to improve the safety. So with these two persistent challenge, we started our journey towards the implementing the technologies and the latest tools in our road transport safety, which has changed the face of road transport safety for us. So our journey started with the very simple offline MDVR and dash cams, and this is I'm talking about 2015 or so, whereby we fitted all our vehicles with the cameras. You can just see on the sideways, I have put one clip of the focusing a driver which found a drowsy. Now what happened with the offline systems? It captures the clips, but we could not, avoid the incident, because we don't have a mechanism to alert the driver. So that is the very first level of the cameras, which is the more like a, recording systems and understanding things, probably post facto analysis at the most we can do. And then it has that, no, we can't live with that. And the second phase has come where it is a real-time alerting mechanism. As you can just sleep in the sleep, these vehicles are equipped with the AI-based interlinked cameras, which, give a driver a buzzer on the seat belt, which you can just see vibrator in the seat, as well as the audio visual alarm, which will alert the driver in real time. And now we can understand that, okay, we have some level of control what is happening on the road, and which we can, prevent. Good start, but is it sufficient? I don't think so, because it's not only fatigue. There are many other things happening on the road. Speed with respect to conditions, acceleration, route diversions, type of routes has been operated, and all this requires some monitoring. And over there, we bring it the concept of having a centralized command center for monitoring each and every activities happening with the vehicle. So that is where I'm just playing a one small clip of our command center, which is being centrally governed over all the fleet. Okay, sorry.
At Linde, we believe that every accident is preventable. Thus, to ensure that our drivers reach home safely, we have equipped each vehicle with vigilance mechanism. In 2018, the Transport Operations Center (TOC) was set up to mitigate the challenge of fatigue and distraction management. Since then, it has been our constant endeavor to implement cutting-edge technologies to deliver operations to strengthen the safety monitoring mechanism. Thus, all vehicles are equipped with specialized cameras and fatigue and distraction sensors.
Linde, we are committed to ensuring that everyone who works for us reaches home safely. At TOC, we manage the day-to-day alert monitoring and communication between the field and the control center. And we take active part in data analytics and video, which influences a positive driving behavior, and that goes a long way in ensuring our safety performance.
TOC constantly monitors and communicates necessary information to the field team to prevent fatigue, distraction and other at-risk behaviors like speeding and acceleration. In TOC's control room, our executives are analyzing each alert thoroughly 24/7. The MDVR triggers real-time audio and vibration alerts to the driver, and recorded videos get transmitted to the server. Serious alerts are immediately addressed and closed over IVRS calls to the supervisor.
Okay, so that's a glimpse of the center, what we have put it across. So let me tell you, this is the center has been put on into 2018, and from there to now, we have a significant technology implemented into the vehicle surveillance. So what are the tools we use? It's basically we have all our vehicles are equipped with the 6 cameras, which includes facial recognition as well as the AI sensors. We also have a RFID sensors for driver recognitions and fatigue distraction AI sensors for very specific fatigue and distractions management systems. These vehicles are also equipped with the real-time audio voice announcement as well as the vibrator alert on the seat of the driver. We have also built a AI layer, we called it a video content analytics, to sharpen the response and identifying the false alert so that the driver will not be unnecessarily get too many false alert and distracted over there. Besides that, we have a psychrometric test prior starting of the trips, whereby the driver will be put it across some lighter games, what we can call the fit for duty evaluations. And based on that, his every day prior starts, he will be has to get it fit, and then only he can go on the wood. Besides that, in the fillet control room, we have various tools and tackles for right from the digital route risk assistance, which will be a broadcast preset route risk has been notified and broadcasted into the vehicle, just like you get in the metro announcement on the next station, etc. Same way, all Linde vehicle received the all route risk assistance feedback on live real time. We have a fatigue intervention plans, and we also have all this program in the respective regional language, so driver can select their own language. So if it's a Odia or Bangla or Tamil, he can prefer his own language, and his alert message comes in the respective language. These are about the technology what we have put, and we also bring up parallelly a lot of programs. So we called a fatigue improvement plan. So fatigue intervention plan, basically that is more about the tracking and communicating and identifying a fatigue and distraction related event. Hours of service, that is the one important area. Okay, how many hours driver run continuously, otherwise in a day. How about their weekly rest, and are they taking a appropriate rest or not? All these are being digitally tracked and monitored at the command center. Any variance in terms of the any deviations are being recorded and being complied with. Digital route risk assistance is, as I mentioned, it's a in-cab broadcasting systems where drivers are being assisted through geofence routes. And then we have a other host of the programs. I will not go into the all details. Let me see the state of right now, how it happens. So as you can see into the screen over here, these are the AI layer of the camera, which is being analyzed, not only the driver eye, but complete facial recognitions, including eye, nose, ears, mouth. And based on that, it will be identified the fatigue and distraction levels. And then that AI layer itself will be triggered the next level of the actions in terms of announcing or alerting drivers or doing that. And this whole command center is integrated with the driver's risk profiling, contractor risk profiling, coach risk profiling. So these all are linked with the respective drivers and how their performance are going on that. Moving on that, now this surveillance has given us the very good understanding on what exactly happening on road. And where we are going wrong. But is it enough? No, I don't think so. It will be serve the purpose unless we focus on the training and development of the drivers. And for that, we have built our in-house end-to-end complete curriculums. So this program starts from right from the quality selection to whom we can select as a driver, to inductions, to that training and the performance management cycles. So the how our driver selections to it induction is a 21 days programs followed by the 90 days of mentorship with the senior drivers, and then only one driver can qualify as a professional driver who can run the Linde vehicles. And training, we have conventional made to digital mode. I will just explain few of our training modules and how we are using a technology for the various training point of view. Performance management is all about we have a driver risk profiling, which is linked with their performance, driving, non-driving activities, and their scorecard is real-time update to them, as well as the whole, distribution workstations. And based on that, privatized one-to-one coaching can be, planned for the performance improvement point of view. Now, to implement that, we also need an appropriate training infrastructure. So all Linde plant is having an inbuilt training infrastructure, which includes we have a very dedicated driver to coach, and the coach are being placed with the particular driver ratios, and then they are responsible for that particular driver performance. Their job is to continually review their particular drivers scorecards, what are the improvement areas, and having a one-to-one engagement for improving performance. Besides that, we have a training vehicle with outrigger, we have a simulator setup, we have a tank farms prototype and equipment sections for the practical sessions. How to loading, unloading activity need to be carried out. So a host of the activities which I will take you through in the subsequent slides, which we call the training infrastructure. And this is the very important investment Linde as an organization has carried out. And left side down, it's a coaching protocol. It's a very theoretical program which calls for various steps of the coaching, and its coaching is not about a counseling and pointing of fingers in terms of their performance issues. It is more about taking them, making them understand how to improve the activities and getting their consent to improve the things. So let me tell you some of the training, digital training tools which we are using. And the first is that for a driving activity, we use the driving simulators. Currently in India, we have 3 simulator training facilities. One in Mumbai, one is in the Bellary, and one is in Jamshedpur. And these are the state-of-art simulators with the 6-degree freedom of sensors. This can create the real-time road situations, and each Linde drivers has to go through the simulator-based trainings, get that certifications with the minimum passing scores. There is a repetitions of the round. So there are a different layer of the trainings over here. It starts with the novice driver, a very simple basic understanding on the driving training, to the very advanced customized scenarios which we have built considering the Indian road conditions. So what we did is that based on the we have a real-time footage on the how the incidents happen on the road, and which we replicated as a simulator program. And this whole program is after simulator is managed through the performance management cycle, which I have mentioned. So person goes through simulator sessions. Based on their observations, feedback and coaching happened. After that enriched knowledge, he goes back to the field. Over there, he's been put on the job safety observations. Any observation over there will be impacted his risk profile, And if your risk profile based on that training need analysis has been carried out. So that's a complete program end to end we have developed for maintaining a driving activities. How about the non-driving activity? Our drivers and so as the oil and gas things, they handle the hazardous product. They do many activities which is not really classified as a job of driver but a technicians, right? And to handle that product handling, cylinder handlings and various complex operations, we build upon the complete non-driving training through the VR module. Let me give you a glimpse first on this. This is how the Linde drivers are being trained for the various non-driving activity like product handling, cylinder handlings, running a forklift, handling a
Now
pallets.
continue to close the outer inlet valve highlighted.
मुझे टैंक में काम करने से डर लगता था, पर मैं इससे अभी अच्छे से सीख सकता हूँ।
बाकी के ड्राइवर को बोले कि अपने को जो जितना जानकारी है उससे ज्यादा अच्छा बढ़िया जानकारी इसमें मिलता है, जो भी सीखेगा बहुत अच्छा है।
So this is about the small glimpse of the virtual reality used for the driving training point of view. And in Linde, all non-driving trainings are being imparted through the virtual reality. Next round. Now we have a lot of work processes and processes, right? And we called a handbook, or we called it a driver, SOPs.
The best way to prevent
All this
accidents
curriculum we
is
have
to follow
digitalized
Smith's 5
through
keys.
the very vernacular series of the novice drivers and the old drivers. They caught, on the go, they are discussing and engaging like a storytelling. So these are the like that 27 plus modules, multi-language modules. You can just see that they are like the different languages. They are on the go reference for the driver. And all these trainings are hosted into the driver app. And you will not be believed what Linde drivers
สำคัญที่4ของระบบสมิธแนะนำให้เว้นทางหนีทีไล่นั่นคือเว้นระยะห่างจากรถคันอื่นๆตามหลักการนี้ให้เว้นระยะห่างรอบรถของคุณการเว้นระยะห่างรอบรถทั้งด้านหน้าด้านหลังด้านขวาและด้านซ้ายจะช่วยลดโอกาสที่จะเกิดอุบัติเหตุกับรถคันอื่นๆที่ใกล้เคียง
Right from the training ecosystems, we have a simulators for driving. We have a non-driving training through VR and all digitalized e-book curriculums for the drivers. Now, is it sufficient? I don't think so. So next things is coming as a vehicle technology. As the drivers are important and same as the vehicle technology also. So all Linde vehicles are equipped with the ABS, EBS and RSS. That is the mandatory norms we need to do that. Besides that, all vehicles has been equipped with the vehicle diagnostic systems. And that is giving us the real-time alert into the anything wrong with the vehicle, be it tire pressure, be it issues with the brake or, some sort of any, engine related issues, vehicle related things and all. We have also built a mechanical electrical integrity program along with the vehicles. And as you have seen in the video, we have our own prototype vehicle. It's a water tanker with the outriggers, whereby we actually train the drivers on rollover prevention, so that how the actual liquid sloshing or surging can happen on the road and what are the impacts of that on the vehicle. So that is about the vehicle technology. And let me show you the one video. This is the classic clip. You can just see that how technology saves the life. You can just see on the side, yeah, there is a one person suddenly come. This is the 55-ton weight, a trailer, loaded trailer, and it stops within the 1.5 second from 51 to 0. And this is not possible. And you can just see the bus is coming in the slide. While applying a sharp brake, vehicle not at all moved or diverge at all from the lane departure. And that is the beauty of the technologies and is possible today. This particular case was referred multiple times by the OEMs also that how this kind of performance can be achieved. And believe in me, Linde, we have many such saves on the road. Now, next, technology. We have talked about the surveillance. We talk about the driver training. We talk about the vehicle technology. Besides that, also something need to done as a management process or management activity. So first is that driver health and management. Let me play one video over here. We have heard about the breath alcohol test and alcohol as issues. We would have also heard about the substance abuse. We would have also at times probably understand the sleep apnea and how it plays. But this is the case of epilepsy. You can just see this driver starts chewing something. You can just see on the other video, there is another driver and the road is plain and he was starts looking and just see that how the suddenly his behavior starts. Look at this is the weird of the vehicle. He hit the median. Now co-driver starts realizing that person's he looks absolutely okay, normal, but he is not in control. He was just on the steering, but he was under the epilepsy, track. Now the co-driver has realized he starts, taking a control of the vehicles. Somewhere he is helping him out. Still the driver was not able to respond. He is not at all in his own conscious, basically. And this is the medical conditions. You can't, blame the driver for that. And this is the hard reality of our road. So, in Linde, we have a programs which is not really stopped to the, driver health repository, but we are going into the levels of, identifying substance use, which is very common. All our drivers, wherever there is a need or, fatigue related issues, we put them through the sleep apnea test and helping them out in terms of fighting or working out their sleep disorders. We are also need basis looking at EEG for epilepsy related issues and all. Right. Now, all these are the programs, how it will reach really to driver where it matters the most. And for that, we have our own driver app. You can just see on the screens over there, driver app, driver has host of the information. First is his own profile, his own scorecard, their driving duty hours, driving hours, hours of service related informations. It also have a 24/7 helpline, which can be, responded by the command centers for providing emergency service, hospitalization, medical services, any and everything related to doing that. And besides that, governance is a very common. Generally, all industry does that. It's a more like a road transport safety policy, performance linked variable pay. A Linde driver is being paid as high as 30% of their salary, which is linked with the safety performance. And that is over and above their salary, I would say. And that brings that necessary, rigor in terms of driving the programs. And, it requires a lot of, involvement and management resolve. It also required a lot of engagement programs and all to make this program work. Yeah, so that's the, really end of the, my presentation. I keep it short, but I can tell you all this performance has given a tremendous, result and a satisfaction. More than that, we can proudly say that we have zero in control, incident in last 2 years time. Not a single, while we are closing around 40 lakhs kilometer per month in that Indian road. So that's all from my side. If any questions,
thank you,
anything.
Thank you, Desai, for a wonderful presentation. I think everybody will get benefited from your succinct presentation. You have covered what sort of new technologies, modern technologies, which we should use. Also, you have talked about use of AI and talked about in detail the training of the drivers. So yes, that's very, very important. Training of the event. You have talked about 3 A's, 4 A's, awareness, attitude, attentiveness, and anticipation. That's I think it's paramount. With all these measures, the end result is Linde has achieved a wonderful result. And if as such as a whole industry, we can emulate some of the good things, and emulating is a good thing. If we can emulate some of the good things, we are sure that we will improve the road safety incidents in India. Wonderful presentation. Thank you, Ankur Desai ji, for making succinct but yet a very powerful presentation. Very learning presentation. Sanjeev, Raina, are you in?
Yeah. I'm in. Sorry
So
for the
please make
glitch.
your
I don't know.
presentation.
I was all the time there, but when the presentation had to be started, something happened.
Yeah.
Anyway,
15 minutes for presentation. Thank you, Sanjeev Raina.
Ankurji, you'll have to unshare and then I can share my
Yeah,
presentation.
Ankurji, you unshare your screen.
Yeah, I have already answered my screen.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, am I visible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you very much for giving me opportunity to talk in front of roughly around 200 people across the industry. See, I'll just start with a quote. John F. Kennedy has said that America is not rich. It's rich because of the roads. If you have good infrastructure, if you have fabulous roads, you can become rich. That is what our Nitin Gadkari ji is talking about. So Kennedy had said at that time that we say that America is rich, that's why the roads are good. But the fact is, since the roads are good, that's why America is rich. So the paradigm has also changed in India as well. So in my presentation, what I'll be talking about is National Road Safety Policy. A committee was formed under Mr. S. Sundar, former secretary, in the year 2020, in the 2005. And it was for the committee to make recommendations in the creation of dedicated body on road safety and traffic management. That was the mandate for that committee. The committee was also subsequently asked to draft a national road safety policy for consideration of the Government of India. Committee, while submitting its report in February 2007, recommended National Road Safety Policy. Based on the recommendations of the committee, Union Cabinet approved it on 15/3/2010 as an approved National Road Safety Policy. See, all of us need to know what are the contents of this National Road Safety Policy. Many of us really do not know what this policy is talking about. National Road Safety Policy outlines the policy initiatives to be framed, taken by all the governments, that means state as well as the central government, and ultimately objective is to improve the road safety activity in the country. So when I look at this National Road Safety Policy, it says, the preamble of the policy says, Government of India is deeply concerned about the growth in the number of road accidents, injuries, and the fatalities in the recent years. It also recognizes that the road accidents have now become a major public health issue, and the victims are mainly the poor and the vulnerable road users. It's also actually talking about the Article 19 of the Constitution of the India, wherein we say that whenever an accident or a disaster happens, it's the poorest of the poor who is actually getting impacted. The rich and affluent are actually safe. Here also, in case of these accidents, the majority of the victims are the poor and the vulnerable road users. The Government of India further says road accidents involve three elements: roads, motor vehicles, and human beings. इसलिए मैं हर बार कहता हूं, सड़कें बोलती हैं. You have to understand the language of the roads. सदके बोलती हैं, सज के बोलती हैं, सवर के बोलती हैं. So it is the way your महबूबा जिस तरीके से बात करती है आपसे, उस तरीके से ये सड़कें आपसे बात करती हैं. बट आपको सड़कों की भाषा को समझना बहुत जरूरी है. How many of us know what a dotted line on the center of a road means, what a firm line on the center of a road means, why a firm line on the left side and right side of the road means, when a flyover is having, why is it having a firm line, why a permanent line and a dotted line, what does it mean? So important is to understand the language of the road, language of the vehicle, and language of the person who is driving. Like Ankurji showed us so many things. If you are able to decipher it through artificial intelligence, seeing that the person is fatigued or is getting an epilepsy attack, you can prevent lots of things happen. Similarly, if you know the road language, you will be in a position to control your actions and don't do actions which are not required. Therefore, road safety needs to be addressed on holistic basis. It also recognizes that regardless of jurisdictions, central and state governments have joint responsibility in the incidents of road accident injuries and fatalities. So no government can absolve themselves. While it is the accountability and responsibility of each one of us, but even the government has a responsibility and accountability. In light of this, the government of India, through this national road safety policy, it states its commitment to bring significant reduction in the mortality and morbidity resulting from the road accidents. It is catastrophic when a driver dies or when a pedestrian dies or a poor person dies. Actually, it's impacting his family. So the policy statement is raise awareness about road safety issues. Government would increase its efforts to promote awareness about various aspects of road safety. Basically, it's talking about the social and the economic implications if a roadside person or a driver dies. And important is to curb the rising menace of the road accidents. That is our mandate. Enable and empower the different stakeholders to play a meaningful role. The approach for the road safety has to be multidisciplinary, integrated approach. It's not one person's job. The people who are constructing the roads have to take care of the proper camber. They have to take care of the proper super elevations. If super elevations are not proper, then the vehicles can move tangentially away through with the help of a centrifugal force. So super elevations give us the centripetal force. The vehicles need to have appropriate CG influx in between. So every person who is involved, every stakeholder who is involved has to play an active role. So the 11 key elements of the National Road Safety Policy are: establish a road safety information database. We don't have a genuine database. Whatever figures we're talking about, it may be 40% less than what exactly is happening. Ensure safer road infrastructure. As I talked about super elevation, as I talked about the camber, as I talked about the median, these have to be ensured in the safe road infrastructure. Safer vehicles. The vehicles have to be designed having EBS as a part of it, having governors, having various other technological inputs into it. And drivers have to be trained. Then safety of vulnerable road users. You have to actually train the road users also. How it's ultimately these people who are walking on the roads do not know how to calculate the risk. Risk, we know, is a probability of occurrence multiplied with severity. If I talk about Pune-Mumbai expressway, my gut feeling tells me I should not cross the road, but if I try to cross that expressway, there is always probability that I may be killed. The risks are very high. We have to train our guys how to use the underpasses, how to use the skywalks. So training people, these vulnerable road users, becomes very important. Traffic safety education and training. That's why I said सड़कें बोलती हैं, सड़कों की भाषा समझना बहुत जरूरी है. And then enforcement of the safety laws. Very important in India. Nowadays, we are seeing lots of medical emergencies are there. Previously, we were not knowing what's happening to the people. Now, people are having some disposable income and everybody wants to save his or the dear one. So medical emergency becomes very important. Even in Mumbai, we see that when an ambulance is coming, there's a traffic jam and nobody is moving away. The vehicle keeps on honking. And many times the life of a person who has suffered a heart attack or anything of that sort is lost. So emergency medical services on the road and for the road accidents also needs to be activated. Research for the road safety, strengthening and enabling legal institutional framework and implementation of the strategy. These are the 11 very important key elements of the road safety policy. And statistics, I'll not be spending much time. You just see the red, those are the states where the accidents are more and the fatalities are more. Just see the top 3 blocks, 2011 to 2018, total road accidents. You just see they have started coming down. Total road accidents per lakh population, that has also started coming down. And total road accidents per thousand, that's also started coming down. But you just see how the accidents have increased. Bottom 3 blocks are talking about the accidents. And this data is not mine. It's from the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Total road deaths per lakh population, just see. In 2018, I don't have the current data with me. It's almost 11. And national average, you just see, it's roughly around 5.8. It's catastrophic. And especially the states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, then you have Madhya Pradesh, and in north you have Haryana, Punjab, and some parts of maybe the lower parts of J&K. All these are issues. You have to be very careful with these states. They have to mend themselves. And you just see, this is once again from the Ministry of Road Transport data. It is possible that the actual, as I said, 40% of the data may not be captured. Death rate has slightly started coming down because of the awareness compared to the previous area, compared to the previous road deaths. It has started coming down. Death rate has started coming down to a reasonable extent. And just see India and the global picture. India, it is roughly around 11.6 fatality rate per 1 lakh population. MTV means motorized two-wheeler plus four-wheeler per 100 persons, it's 12. Just see Australia, 5.1, Chile, 12. It's slightly more than that, more than us. But see, rest all are lower. So India is vulnerable. Probably what we are taking is driving, जैसे मतलब एक अपना मतलब we are not governed by anybody, we are not controlled by anybody. It looks that way. And losing 11.6 lives per 1 lakh people, it is painful. See, as I said that, the data what we have, which is captured by the Ministry of Road Transport, may be lower. Actually, the uninformal source says that it's 40% more higher. If I talk about 40% instead of 11.5, it may be 15, 16. So we have to be careful. As Desai Saab talked about, he has shown a fabulous presentation, what needs to be done, what is being done. So that means awareness part of it is increasing. And if you just see death due to road accidents in India, overspeeding is 1,19,000. Driving on wrong side, another big menace, 9,000. I have seen people going on the wrong side with the children to the school. Children sitting in front and back, and they're moving on the wrong side because they're saving some meters of the road distance. And 9,000 fatalities on account of that. Overspeeding, 1,19,000. In India, the statistics, as far as Hirak Dutta Saab talked about, there are 5 lakh approximate accidents, and 1/3 are the fatalities. Means roughly around 1.6, 1.7 lakh are the fatalities. Just see, jumping red light, use of mobile phone. It has not been captured in the right way. by the Ministry of Road Transport. Distraction is today's biggest thing which is actually triggering the accidents. Distraction. Distraction on account of mobile. Even though you're penalized, आप नए नए रास्ते निकालते हैं, आप नए नए हेलमेट के अंदर मोबाइल लगा देते हैं लोग, and keep on talking. So what I'm saying is mobile phones are distracting, and accidents on account of distraction are actually higher, which are not being recorded. Injuries, 50 million every year. Deaths, as I told, of 1/3 and are still rising. Road safety scenarios. 10% of the global road fatalities are from India. 348 deaths per day, 15 deaths per hour. And it can be anybody amongst us. That is why we have a fantastic, fabulous initiative by Government of India, which we say Viksit Bharat. How do we align Viksit Bharat with these accidents and fatalities? Viksit Bharat has 6 major elements. It has health. Can I link health with the road safety? Number 2 is environment. Can I link environment with the road safety? Third is education. That is capacity building, training, retraining. Can I connect it with the road safety? Then comes the technology, which already we have seen what technology and AI can do to all of us. And lastly, infrastructure. Can we link it to our road safety? That is what the Viksit Bharat is talking about. And Viksit Bharat is 2047. We are saying $33 trillion economy. And when these accidents happen, I'll show you what the statistics are speaking. And as far as oil industry is concerned, you can just see the incidents globally, 5 lakh, India 4 lakh 67, oil industry it's 491 and 657 fatalities. Nonetheless, it may be a small figure, but that one person matters. That one family man matters. We may be someone to the industry, but that one person is entire family. He is important for his entire family. So even though the ratio is less, but we need to take into account the life. As I said, in the national safety policy also, it's in the national road safety policy, it is said that we have to take the social and the environmental angle also into the picture. And देखिए सिंपल बात है, ह्यूमन बीइंग नहीं रहेगा तो हम कैसे रहेंगे? उस चीज का फायदा क्या है जब तक हम ह्यूमन बॉडी को एट द कोर ऑफ एक्टिविटी नहीं रखें? So as oil industry, we consider human being at the core of the activity. And just see, I'm just giving some statistics. Society carries the burden of death, disability, and disappearance in more than 1 lakh families every year. Almost 1.5 lakhs, which we talks about. Now, talking about the GDP, it's a loss of 75,000 crores every year, which is 2 to 3% of the GDP. As a nation, can we afford to lose this 2 to 3% of the GDP when we have, हमारे लिए तो लक्ष्य निर्धारित है 2047, $33 trillion इकोनॉमी बनना है, हम ये 75,000 करोड़ लूज नहीं कर सकते हैं. We have to be effective. About half of all the victims, if you just see, are of the age of 25 to 60. Just see 25 to 35, 35 to 45, 45 to 60. That is the age when people are actually doing something for the family. They become more sensible. They become more thoughtful about the family. So global burden of disease, injuries, and risk factor study GBD estimated the rate of death due to road injuries in each state of India from 19 based on several verbal autopsy data sources. That is what I have been presenting here. Age-specific comparison of GBD and MORTH reported road deaths. So it's very critical. I am saying अगर हमें विकसित भारत देखना है, हमें 2 से 3% GDP अपना बचाना पड़ेगा, 75,000 करोड़ अपने को बचाना पड़ेगा. And very important here, I am talking about 3 E's. Engineering at the road level, engineering at the vehicle level, engineering at the technology level. And when I talk about road safety, educating the drivers, educating the industry, educating the people who are constructing the roads, educating the people who are vulnerable, and then ultimately, lastly, enforcement. So we need to have definitive initiatives for the road safety. It cannot be superficial or symbolic initiatives. Engineering measures and standards, public education awareness, enhancing driving skills, stricter enforcement of laws, and emergency services. As I said, if an accident happens, do we have trauma centers nearby? Do we have actually an SOP how to handle those emergencies? So bottom line is behavior changes can be promoted. We need to work on the behavior of the people. Maybe the pedestrian, maybe the one who is manufacturing, who is constructing the road, maybe the one who is manufacturing. Ultimately, everything has to be directed towards that person who is dying, who is going to get killed in an accident. It can be you, me, anybody for that matter. And main causes of the distraction, as I said, it's very important to understand. It's drug influence or alcohol, speeding, using mobile phones. Distracted driver means partying in the car, fatigue, missed vehicle maintenance, you have not done it, reckless, dangerous, or aggressive driving. You feel adrenaline flowing and you're driving at 140, 130, beating the red lights. So many causes. And important is to understand 6 out of 10 teen crashed involve driver distraction. This is what the globally people are saying. Drivers have to be attentive. It's not only the fatigue, it's not only the epilepsy, but there are other factors also. You start playing a music at a loud and then you start partying. That's not the way the things work. You're just seeing reaching for object within a vehicle, 6%. Grooming, baal banate hue, 6%. Singing and dancing, 8%. Looking at something outside the vehicle, 9%. Right? So, lastly, I would want to say safety during driving, ability and qualification need to be seen, driving training needs to be done, then use of mobiles need to be stopped, alcohol and drug usage doesn't have to be allowed. That means we need to have a policy within the organizations where these drug and alcohol abuse can be structured in the right way. And fatigue, as all of us have seen also in Ankurji's presentation, it's also one of the major contributing factor in the fatal accidents. And the objective for road transport safety includes development of fleet safety management system covering, which already Ankurji has talked about, contractors management, drivers management, vehicle management, journey management plan, identification of areas for improvement to reduce the fleet safety risk to a level which are as low as reasonably practicable, imparting training and retraining of the crew, training crew use on ABS and speed governance, which all these things have been already talked about. So I'll only say, which is very important, is verifying crew's authorization of valid licenses. Many times in India, these guys hoodwink us, give us a vehicle license which is not actually a correct one. So you may need to go into the licensing site and see whether these licenses are valid or not. And aim of the entire industry, be it oil industry or any other industry, is to achieve zero accidents, including injuries and fatalities. And important for that is leadership commitment, management controls, and vehicle safety, journey management, driver behavior, and hierarchy of controls. Then only the road accidents are going to come down. So lastly, to conclude my presentation, in Marathi, I'm not a Marathi person, but in Marathi they say thamba, stop. I feel whenever you are fatigued, thamba, stop. Whenever you are driving fast, thamba, stop. Whenever you are getting a medical emergency, thamba, stop. What does this stop actually mean for me? S is a strategize. Strategize your travel plan, route plan, relaxation period in between. Very important. Time management. That's start to halt. कहाँ रुकना है, कहाँ स्टार्ट, कितने बजे स्टार्ट किया, कितने बजे अंत करना है, ये मेरे को एस बताता है. When I talk about T, it actually talks about capacity building. Train. You need to train yourself for mindful driving. You need to train vehicle checks and balances, belts, airbags, everything. Seat belt is okay, airbag is okay, my brake is okay, my ABS is functioning, my governor is functioning. That would be all about T. And even training people, like Ankurji talked about simulator-based training. They have an effective module wherein you're training the people on all the vagaries of the accidents and the vagaries of the road. And O, when I talk about O, it's observe. It's very important. Observe the road, what it is talking about. Observe the signboard, what it is talking about. Observe the vehicle who is driving in front of you and driving at the back. What is his braking pattern? What is his lane discipline? Your speed, overtaking, overthinking. Look at it. And lastly, control speed. Buckle up, avoid distractions, follow rules, communicate properly through the signals what has been given to your vehicles. So I would like if you just follow this simple fundamental thumb rule of stop. I think lots of accidents can be averted. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Muted. हिरक जी, you are muted. Sir, आपका mute है.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjeev Raina ji, for a wonderful presentation as usual. Very, very, very absorbing presentation. And he finished in a style. Just like Ankur Desai ji has talked about 4 A's, you have talked about 3 E's. 3 E's are also very important, which are engineering, education, and enforcement. Engineering, education, and enforcement is definitely very, very important. Unless we enforce, also the educator, the engineer, that good practices to bring in, will not achieve the results. That's wonderful. 3 E's you have said. And you have also talked about the GDP loss, some 3 to 4% of GDP loss because of the accidents, which is mind-boggling, bombing more than 70 to 80,000 lakhs of thousands of rupees per annum. And then other thing which everything was important, but 6 out of 10 team crashes involve driver interactions. Now that's very, very important. Now these are some of the things which is in our own hands. It doesn't require a big thing to do. It's a wide distraction. Why are we talking on Bombay roads, Delhi roads, Calcutta roads, Chennai roads, any roads you go, and every day I come to office, my driver drives, I sit by the side of the driver. Every other day, people are talking on the telephone. Now, that should be stopped. That's a tremendous distraction. And mind you, 6 out of 10 teenagers losing their lives is unpardonable. Unpardonable. Lovely presentation. Now it's a short time for having a panel discussion. Now, since both of you have spoken, I will go straight away to Sanjay ji. Short answers, and then we'll take some 1 or 2 questions from the participants. Sanjay ji, you have listened to the speakers also. I would like to ask you a specific question. I will focus on training and education. Can you elaborate that? What specific training programs do you believe are most effective in enhancing skills and safety awareness of drivers transporting finished petroleum products? Now, mind you, Sanjay ji has worked in BP and various other organizations. So he's in the best position to answer what sort of skills and safety awareness which drivers require for transportation of highly hazardous goods and highly hazardous oil and gas. Sanjay ji.
Thank you very much, Hirak Dutta ji. So, in terms of the training to the drivers, there are some programs which are so-called conventional programs, and some programs are not so well known to the people. The one which was explained by Ankur Desai ji was on the defensive driving training program using AR and VR technology. is one program which is being implemented. Now the use of AR and VR is becoming increasingly popular because you can get a better understanding of the situation and particularly the consequence point of view. But what is most important is in terms of communication, it should not be only limited to the defensive driving training, but it should be complemented with the everyday toolbox meetings. What is important is that get away from the top-down training approach, where instead of that, see that the driver is allowed to speak and they are allowed to share their problems and somebody is able to solve those problems. That is very, very important because very often in most of the organizations I visit, I find that only few people are talking and the opportunity is not given to the drivers to speak up. And not necessarily it has to be in Hindi, or it can be in a language which he's more comfortable in speaking. But that matter gets discussed amongst the driver community on a daily basis wherever they are working, and it gets resolved. One thing which I learned in some of the countries, because I do carry out various inspections and audit outside India more, is that there is a tool, WhatsApp tool is used, where every day there is a MCQ, multiple choice questions are asked, and the people are, all the drivers are required to give answers. Even if the driver doesn't know the answer, he can also ask his other peer people, other drivers, or the people from the logistics department and ask what is the answer, and then he can do it. So it is not necessary that he has to know the answer, even if he asks somebody and then gives the answer. So typically in some of the best companies I have visited, there is a repository of 100 to 350 questions in a year. And those questions are asked over a period of time. So people, the drivers, they understand every day one question, the answer to that. So it gets ingrained in their mind rather than they sitting for a training program for 1 hour or 2 hours. Sometimes some companies, they make them sit for half a day. Their span of attention is not so good. So these one question per day, and they are allowed to talk to anybody and give the answers. And on a quarterly basis, the winners are announced based on first come. There are certain laid down criteria where the winners are announced. This is one. Also, the surprise inspections. So in many companies, apart from the training to see the effectiveness and implementation on the ground, they have the squads, they have the people, and those surprise inspections are conducted only which is known to the selected people. And again, the objective is not to is to do the proper hand holding. It is not like an Inspector Raj and you are trying to do the fault finding, but try to tell them nicely what are the repercussions in case they are found to be not following that. Then followed by these the two methodologies which we were discussing, usage of simulators, because I'm looking at it because the organizations that we are talking about, they are multinational companies. There are some big, very big organization, national oil and gas company. Their set of problems are there. MSME, the problems are different. So there is no fit for all formula for any solution. But in terms of the usage of new technology, in-cabin assessment, according to my understanding, has given fantastic results. So you have a coach, and every 6 months, some companies do once in 6 months, some companies do once in 12 months. But that coach approach, and he's sitting down with the driver, and they are trying to find out where he is doing very good, where he is not doing so good, and then customized trainings are then given through the simulators. So I think these are the things which is helping them a lot. And at the end of the year, the drivers which are done very well, they are allowed to go to certain places where the best of the trainings or the best practices are being conducted. So like in BP or or in Total Energies, we had sent the people to Dubai or to South Africa And those drivers, they try to understand what are the best practices. And when they come back, they start talking to the other drivers. And this acts as a some kind of there is a positive recognition and some kind of a positive competition amongst the drivers, that they want to excel, and they want to start using these tools. One small point which I have seen in these companies is many people have started using the smartphones, but some people, when they go on a long leave, 1 month leave, and they come back, they again tend to forget some of the various functionalities. So it is very important that the people, those who come back after a 1 month or 2 months leave, whatever the leave is there, they are kept under more watch, and then there is a special watch on them to see that they are back into the group.
Thank you, Sanjay ji. Uh, you have emphasized again on, besides training, talking to the person and allowing them to speak. I think that's very, very important. They should also be allowed to speak. Only you should not listen to the talk, but learn from them what are their issues, what are their pain points. They can listen to drivers. What do they actually feel? What are their feelings? What are their gaps? And if you allow them to speak out, things will definitely. And if you act, things will definitely improve. I'll come back to you, Ankur ji. I will talk to Sanjeev Raina first. Sanjeev Raina ji, Ankur ji giving his presentation. Now he has made a lovely point that performance-based incentive to the drivers. Now in this private company, Linde, he has mentioned that 30% of additional pay is given to drivers who have performed well, and I'm sure that they have yardsticks for measuring the points. Can we think of in public sector undertakings the incentive scheme to incentivize or reward the drivers? At the same time, I'm not finished. Only incentive at the same time, can we also have some punishment criteria? So how does the incentive and punishment, to your mind, would impact?
Thank you, Hirakji. Sir, as far as incentive is concerned, Ankurji has already talked about what incentive has done to their transport fleet. Actually, it has empowered them. It has motivated them. It has inspired them to actually do the things in the right way. They know if they're doing the things in the right way, they're going to get incentivized. And if you're incentivizing, it's not that individual. It is the entire family whose standard goes up. Their disposable income, they can do more better things. Their children can study. The wife of the driver can be more presentable in the society.
PSU, can we bring it in our
So
PSU?
coming to PSU, definitely I feel like we have incentive schemes for the contract workmen in the refineries. Definitely we can have incentive schemes for the drivers as well. Ultimately, as far as organization is concerned, we are Fortune 500 and Maharatna companies. Spending 5-10 crores on these initiatives is actually not going to make much of a difference if it is actually going to save the life of even a single person. I am for it. And organizations like public sector, we are having huge incentive schemes for the people who are working in refineries, million man-hour days without lost time accident and all. Similarly, in case of a driver also, in case of transport also, we can think of having some similar schemes.
I think what you are saying, we need to create a movement where the time has come to develop an incentive scheme for the drivers, good behavior of the drivers. So that's one. At least in OISD, when I was head of OISD, I used to give drivers and the contractors award right from Honorable Minister. So some sort of scheme, we need to follow it up. And people like you, etc., who can create an impact on the board level people, we need to create such an impact such an environment so that each of the PSUs think about incentivizing the drivers. Thank you.
Let's say
Thank you,
in
Raina.
case of nil fatality or in case of nil LTI at the
Whatever.
refineries, we have a framework. BPCL has its framework, HPC has
we need to
its
change
own.
the mindset.
Yeah,
We
we
have
need to create a
parameters. We have
framework.
parameters.
Yeah. And as far as penalty also, you said that whether we need to penalize them. See, you have to also analyze the habit of the drivers. Are they pathological in nature? Are they generative in nature? Are they reactive? Are they proactive as far as safety of their driving skills are concerned? If they are pathological, my prescription, my medicine is simply remove them from the system and ensure that they are never coming back into the system. But for people who are reactive, they can be trained. People who are proactive, they can be incentivized. And the people who are generative in nature, they can be super incentivized. Because that is what we are looking at it. जिसके कन में, जिसके डीएनए में सेफ्टी उतर गई ड्राइविंग की, उसको तो आप सुपर इंसेंटिवाइज कीजिए. जो प्रोएक्टिव है उसको थोड़ा सा इंसेंटिव.
We can bring in punishment, and therefore contractors should be punished. See, individual drivers, PSUs cannot punish. It is contractors. So contractors need to be punished, need to be blacklisted, and therefore all the oil companies should come together and bring out a system of punishing or blacklisting the contractor. Individually, we cannot do because they are not our employees.
दत्ता साहब, मैं इसमें थोड़ा सा डेविएट कर रहा हूं. आई एम सेइंग मोर, सी इफ यू आर इंसेंटिवाइजिंग, incentive has to be given to the driver who is driving. But if you are penalizing, it has to be the contractor.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We have to say the contractor. That's what I'm saying. That's what I say. Yeah. Ankurji, moving away from this, the presentation and most of the topics have been discussed, I was curious to know whether we can have some sort of cross-industry collaboration, private, public, cross-industry collaboration, public-private partnership, through which, because only PSUs talking will not, I don't see it will happen at result. So if there is an interaction between PSU and private, and if you can emulate some of the good practices, both in PSU as well as private, good organizations. I have never believed in PSU private, good or bad organizations. Then perhaps we can improve upon. So what's your take on this?
Yes, Hirakji, that's the way we should be take matter forward. And I can tell you, we can work like a minimum common agenda, which is of everyone's liking, right? And it's a very basic fundamental things. And I would also bring one aspect over here, which in Linde we follow, is spending meaningfully your CSR fund, which is definitely being done by the all organizations on the road transport safety. So how about building a training institute, which can be, funded by the various like-minded organization, public, private, and it is open for all. It can be governed by the able, IRTD or LCS or some of the government undertaking, organization. So that could be one way. Second thing, building an ecosystem. We are in the age of the digital world. I can tell you, I just give one example. We have done this driver loading unload training. And by the way, we are taking one aspect very important, that we are focused more on the driving, but the driver handle this product day in, day out, even in case of emergency. So product handling, understanding that characteristic are also important. And if you create one module of VR training, believe in me, per driver's cost would not be even in 1 cent. Believe in me, because it's a very powerful. It's more about implementation mechanism. Yeah, we should look to have a common minimum program of developing a curriculum, developing the infrastructures, bringing this whole public-private partnership to the different level, and take matter forward, it won't be costing any individual too high. I can tell you from my experience. In fact, doing on the large scale is much easier because it's all about in today's world, developing a module is the cost, and replicating is not that, a big challenge. Yeah, we should be having that. And one more thing, but prior coming to that, we required a bare minimum guidelines on terms of do's and don'ts in terms of policy governance. Now I'm not talking a rule based governance that is already there, but we know it is not very effective. So can we look like we were talking about the penalty of driver? I give you one example. In Linde we called it a zero tolerance. Some of the behaviors is zero tolerance, like use of mobile phone, drunk and driving, not wearing seat belt. These are very basic things, and it's a zero tolerance. So be it right from the MD of the company to the transport contractors or drivers, anyone identified such behaviors is cannot work for the organization. Now, these are the very important deterrents which can be created by policy matters. And believe in me, it cascades very fast because today's surveillance is very effective. People can identify that and take it forward. So what I'm saying is that we can bring a some kind of minimum program and then build infrastructures taking individual company organizers contribution or CSR route or something else. We can also look to have some of the government nodal agencies to loop in terms of administrative activities and take it really at the mega scale. Very much possible.
I think you have brought out a very important point. Yes, we can definitely. There are some areas which is zero tolerance, cannot be acceptable, unacceptable behavior. They give incentive, but unacceptable behaviors will not be tolerated. In fact, I've seen in Shell, if you don't wear the seatbelt, even in the rear, the driver who is attached with you, he will not speak a word, but he will not start the car.
Yes.
Till you realize that even the rear you have to wear the belt. Sanjay ji, before I switch over to the delegates to ask a few questions, my last question to you is, what sort of, to achieve what Ankur ji and what Sanjeev Raina ji have spoken about public-shape or incentives or punishment, what sort of leadership challenges do you foresee? I'm not talking in terms of public sector or private sector. I'm talking about the good sector. To me, there is no public or private. What sort of leadership challenges or what sort of leadership is required to bring about this change?
Yeah, I'll just keep there are many things, but I'll just focus on 3 points. The number one is that there is a concept of what is called management safety tools. Many organizations
leadership issues, address the leadership issues.
Correct. So these management safety tools are conducted for various taking a round and seeing whether there are unsafe conditions, talking to the contractors. The contractors, those who are doing high risk jobs are always captured, but these transporters, they are always forgotten. So whenever I have not seen many companies when there is a management safety tool is there, that particular person is spending some time talking to the drivers, or he is going to the restroom.
Yeah,
or
so
talking.
you are saying that one of the leadership challenges will be as to how to motivate people to talk to drivers. Okay,
yeah.
Number two. Yeah.
So number two is there is something called contract owners program, which is started by many multinational companies. So do not only talk to the drivers. Most important is whether the organization structure of the transporter is there in place, and what is it that the owners and the middle management of transporter are doing. And sometimes it makes sense to visit the teams. They are allocated at the beginning of the year, and they visit once they visit to the transporter office. Sometimes the transporters are asked to visit their office. So in a year, typically there are 2 interactions with every transporter, and there is a clear whatever are the weak spots there.
Leadership in the KPI of the middle managers should bring this issue one of the key performance areas also. That is the leadership issue.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is basically, and the last one is on the ISO 39001. India is the only country where 39001 is least used. Whenever I'm seeing many other countries outside India, even if you go to Sri Lanka, Thailand, you go to the or even Seychelles, many countries in Africa, MENA or Southeast Asia, they are extensively using ISO 39001, whereas the number in India is very, very small. So rather than doing a piecemeal approach, it always makes a sense to have a complete ecosystem being addressed simultaneously and putting the dots together, which will give a better traction and better results.
Excellent, excellent. I think we are getting the
I just wanted to add on one thing as far as leadership is concerned. Like Sanjay ji has already spoken about it, but I would want the way we have HSSE policy, which is a board approved, safety policy is approved with the board. Why cannot we have a road transportation policy which is approved by the board? The policies have a fabulous construct in terms of commitment, in terms of demonstrating your commitment, in terms of establishing objectives, in terms of providing means, and in terms of monitoring. And if you have a board approved, structured transport policy, I think the job, 90% of the job is done. So the problem is we don't have a structured transportation policy framework in our mindset. वो कहते हैं it becomes a part of a safety, जबकि हमारा safety एक अलग डोमेन है और रोड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन टोटली डिफरेंट उसका सेफ्टी है. I personally feel we should have a safe transportation policy in place if we want to make a paradigm change in the safety domain of the transportation.
I think Sanjeev was coming to you, but then you have straight away answered the question. We have policies for everything. So we need seriously, we need to have, because 5 lakh accidents, 1.7 lakh people dying is not a matter of joke. So we need to have a policy, and seriously, there's a big leadership challenge to bring in some sort of policy, break down the policy into mission and KPIs, and bring in the KPIs for the logistics department and others, measurable, quantifiable, and then at the time of API, use those KPIs. Use those KPIs.
Hirak Dutta sir, just to add, so I think what Sanjeev Raina ji was saying, so once you have ISO 39001, automatically you will have the policy, you will have the KPIs, you will have the short-term, long-term plan. Automatically, that becomes a de facto. I think just trying to stress the point which Ankur ji was mentioning, in India, having been to most of the places I have visited, I haven't seen a very professional training center or world-class center, which I have seen in Tunisia or Australia, Brisbane. So there is a need to have a very professional approach, and which is encompassing various sectors, sector specific also. So if you have in each of the north, south, east, west, 4 centers, and where people can go through that, and there is a harmonized approach and some standardized approach which can be laid down the minimum facilities as per international standards, and at the same time which you are basically going to add value. I'm sure there are many companies when I visit, they are looking forward to that kind of an institute or training center where it will add value and raise their overall standards in road safety management, sir.
Thank you.
Sanjay,
we have some questions. It's already 4:45. The panel can go on discussing. So now let me ask.
Sir, just wanted to give only
one
one perspective, sir. Hirak Dutta, sir. एक ही perspective, sir. Oil industry 50,000 trips per day करती है, sir. 50,000 trips, and it is roughly around more than 50 lakh kilometers are traveled average per day by the oil industry tankers. Just wanted to give that.
It's whopping. 55 lakhs kilometer or 50 lakh kilometer, 5 or lakh or
50 lakh kilometers per day.
So it's hoping it's, yeah. Some questions from the delegates. We have time, just time enough for 2 to 3 questions. Any of the delegates, are they, yeah. Strategy. Yes, please. Avdesh ji, can they, Avdesh ji, can they raise questions? I think they are muted.
Kamalji will
Yes,
answer.
just a minute. So now everyone is unmuted. They can unmute themselves and they can ask the questions.
आप answers.
Please go ahead, ask questions, friends. Now
Ask
everybody's
questions.
unmuted.
We have adequate time for 2 to 3 questions.
Yeah,
Anybody
Mr.
having any questions?
Rajendra ji, you have raised your hand.
Yeah, Rajendra ji.
Please ask
Or
your
anybody
question.
else? Anybody else? Yes,
Amit Khatri ji.
Khatri.
Amit ji.
Hello, sir. I joined very late today. I just completed a session and then joining you. मेरे कुछ कंसर्न्स ये हैं जो कि ज्यादातर संजीव रैना सर ने कवर किया है कि एक्सक्लूसिव रोड सेफ्टी पॉलिसी होना चाहिए हर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए. काफी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो मैं हैंडल कर रहा हूँ उसमें रोड सेफ्टी इज एन एक्सपेंडिचर विच शुड बी कंसीडर इनटू एन इन्वेस्टमेंट. तो ये माइंडसेट थोड़ा चेंज करने का जरूरत है. सेकेंडली सर, ड्राइवर सैलरी को थोड़ा बढ़ाने पे फोकस करना चाहिए. 12,000 में घर नहीं चलता, ईमान कहां से चलेगा? So I appreciate the incentive policy by the Desai sir. And finally, ड्राइवर का भी अपलिफ्टमेंट, उसका फैमिली का भी, उसके बच्चे आपको और हमको देख के वो भी सोचता है कि मेरा बेटा भी बड़ा होके इंग्लिश मीडियम में पढ़े और इंजीनियर बने. But are we paying them? Are we offering them good environment as well? जो ड्राइवर आ गया तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में सवेरे एम्प्लॉय को लेके गाड़ी लेके आ गया, बाद में क्या करता है? वो पिटी, वो गंदी जगह पे पड़ा रहता है. तो इन few of my corporate clients, they have developed the driver restroom with all facilities, with music and playing carom, chess, and they all are offered food from the canteen at free cost. तो ये सारी चीजों पे भी ध्यान देंगे. I think it is a time to work on behavior based road safety for drivers.
I think
we have been successful in doing it.
Yeah, Rajendra brought out a very pertinent question. Now, if they are paid very poorly, then
yes,
how do you expect? I think your point is very valid, very well taken. I'm sure the organizations will address that issue. Mr. Amit Khatri, you have raised some questions. You want to raise some questions? Amit Khatri?
Yeah, I have not raised the question. I have just, updated things that I endorse things what Sanjeev sir and Ankur sir mentioned. My point is over.
Okay. Any other delegates? There are so many delegates. Anybody wants to raise some questions?
शर्ट वाला बैग है.
Yes, my own.
Rajendra ji, you can ask.
I think no, Rajendra is over. I think Bajpayee, Chetna, or anyone else?
Sir, myself Shakir Hussain from Linde. Sir, मेरा ये पॉइंट था, अगर सब इंडस्ट्रीज मिलके इन रूट में कुछ ऐसा पार्किंग बनाए वहां पे हर फैसिलिटी मिल सके एंड उसको थोड़ा ट्रेनिंग भी मिल सके, तो हर फैसिलिटी मतलब उसको वहां पे पार्क करके उसका जो भी है मतलब फ्रेश अप होने का या और कुछ भी है वहां पे उसको मिल सके एज ए अंडर सेफ्टी मैनर. क्योंकि हम लोग जितना भी सेफ्टी से उसको सिखाए समझाए वो प्लांट के अंदर कस्टमर के पास ठीक है, बट इन रूट में वो मिसअप हो जाता है क्योंकि उधर पे उसका दोस्त लोग मिल जाता है, सब लोग मिल जाता है वहां पे. वो
I think there's a valid issue, but that needs to be addressed by the industry because it's a huge challenge to set up some sort of check and change room, etc., etc. But many of the companies have, oil companies have earmarked some dhabas on the road. These are some of the, in the journey management plan, the oil companies have the journey management plan.
Control plus shift plus M दिया है इनने.
Yeah, so they have the journey management plan, and the journey management plan, they have identified some of the particular dhabas where the drivers can have their whatever food, breakfast, lunch, and take some rest. But the idea which you have mooted is good. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, good afternoon. This is Ashwani from HPCL. Can I just, yeah,
sure.
Good afternoon. Yeah, so
Yes.
Some of the observations I would say, sir, apart from what Mr. Raina covered, that see on the roads at places we find the signages have just been removed. The NHI also needs to be involved. The road is the messages. I mean, this is a multi-stakeholder things where people need. The accident once happens can't be. I mean, once it happens, somebody has lost life or the truck has toppled and all that. So what is important is that we involve people. You see, like somebody just now very aptly said that 12,000 mein ghar nahi chalta. So what prompts to see, we are aware that there are cases of pilferage and this leads to some particular spots where people drive in, even if the way is not there, they take wrong turns and they try to. So with the help of district administration, and I think on an industry level, this needs to be taken up with the ministry levels so that people are sensitized that this pilferages need to be rooted out. And for that, it is important that we try to build a structure where people are adequately paid, reasonably paid, so that the craving for getting into pilferage is rooted out. And also the NHI would have to have the ownership that they provide wide roads wherever possible. I mean, they would have to put signages, they would have to have the roads, they are not steep downward gradients and all that, where this is happening across. And then road suddenly narrows.
It's a very, very important issue, and there must be some role to the organizers. OHSSAI, you must also take up the issue after this as a key takeaways or action plan. We should also follow up. Now, you as the body who is organizing this program can talk to NHI and raise this issue. This is one of the key issue which has raised during this this conference or this meeting. That one of the issue raised by various participants says that they have poor signage on the road. So in what way can NHI help us? So that could be your agenda of the Avdesh.
Sir, I am Pandey.
Yes, Panditji.
Sir, I am Pandey Sagar. I work in logistical group with the Toyota group. As a CSR, the Ankur sir said, like we have to train drivers and all. So as a CSR, our company has done in road safety, like fencing to block the headlights of another road trucks and all. As well as we have installed the road signage with the help of local authorities. And as a CSR work, we installed road signage also. So these are the more aspects that we can look on as per the company to company to increase in road safety.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we have come to the conclusion of the program. Since there are not many questions, only some of the things. I would like to profusely thank Mr. Ankur Desai ji for a very wonderful presentation, very educative presentation, informative presentation. So also to Mr. Sanjeev Raina ji for presenting a beautiful presentation with a broader perspective, how much is the loss, etc., etc. And I also thank Mr. Sanjay Karajgikar ji for actively participation and showing that ISO 39, how ISO 39001 can help us in circumventing the problem, mitigating some of the problems of road accident. Thank you to all the panelists. I also thank all the around 200 delegates who have actively participated in this program. And I'm sure this sort of awareness program, which is being organized, is the first one, which is organized by OGCS, OHSSAI. I'm sure the series of programs which will be conducted thereafter will help us in achieving the vision of the entire industry of zero incidents in our industry. And as I initially mentioned, that we all believed that safety means good business. The business is not good. There is no point in safety. So safety is intertwined, interconnected, interlinked with the business. I'm sure will benefit all of us. Thank you very much to all the delegates. Thanks to the wonderful panelists, and thanks to Avdesh and his team for organizing this lovely program. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank
And
you, sir.
lastly,
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
concluding
Thank you, sir.
remarks
Thank you.
from Sanjay Karajgikar.
Good evening, everybody. So just to summarize, uh, thank you very much, Hirak Dutta ji and Sanjeev Raina ji and Ankur Desai ji for the participation and also sharing your views. And this is the first of its kind that we started the program, and we are committed to have this program once in a month. But we will release the communicate this well in advance, so that different topics which are important to the various stakeholders, they are taken up and they are addressed on a monthly basis. We will also try to release some communication on this, which is basically what are the deliverables from this program. Because if you just have the program but nothing gets captured in terms of common minimum program, so we will try to capture the key points and make it available. Last time when we had this kind of an internal discussion, we spoke about the pain points. Road risk assessment, driver evaluation was another point. Creating a repository of drivers so that everybody knows who are the errant drivers and who are the good performing drivers. And so is the case with the transport evaluation repository. We also as per the discussion we had with Ankur Desai ji, it may be a good idea if everybody agrees to plan some visit to this command center which they have developed in Calcutta, so that we get to know what are the things they are doing, and there can be some learnings arising out of this. And of course, the new technology, how we can adapt to the individual's requirement, because the profile of every company is different. So we can develop which are the ones which are adding value that can be taken up in the minimum common minimum program. That is what we will be releasing soon. So thank you to all the participants. We had around 198 at the peak time, and approximately 200 numbers. Our endeavor will be to gather more and more people in future, and see that we make this platform where we allow all our stakeholders to share their views, and also we get the experts from the industry so that people can learn from them. So once again, big thank you to everybody, and to all the participants, those who have participated in this program. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Avdesh,
you.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
all.
very much. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.